Hey, welcome back to Practical AutoCAD and Inventor. Another fundamental skill that every CAD technician needs to have is plotting from Paperspace. And while it's similar to plotting from ModelSpace, there are a couple small changes that you need to make sure you're paying attention to. So stick around and check it out. Plotting from a layout or from Paperspace is another one of those fundamental skills that every CAD technician needs to have. But before you plot, you actually need to think about the page setup. So here I am in in Paperspace. And I know I'm in Paperspace because number one, it says paper right here on my status bar. Number two, this landscaping plan tab is highlighted, meaning that it's the active one right here. So what I want to do is I want to look at the page setup manager here. So I'll right click on that tab and then I'll choose the page setup manager off of the pop-up list that comes here. Once I do that, it will show me all of the different page setups that I have here. I'm just going to say modify, and now it brings up a dialog box that says page setup manager, but it looks strikingly like the plot manager because it basically is. From here, I can come through and I can specify the printer. Again, I'm using DWG to PDF because it behaves just like a printer, but I'm not going to get a piece of paper at the end and it'll come up on my screen and we'll be able to look at it. I also can come in and tell it the paper size that I want. The third thing, however, is this one right here, and this is the big difference. When you plot from Paperspace, you should always have this option, what to plot, set to layout, not to anything else. I could set it to display, extents, or window, but the proper way to do it is from layout. I can come in here and set my plot offsets as necessary. And then the other thing that is key is when you're plotting from Paperspace or from a layout, you always have the scale set at 1:1. And the reason is because all of my geometry that's in Paperspace, like my border and title strip and my tables and those kinds of things, all of this text is the actual size that I want at 1:1. The scaling itself happens in the viewports, and it's, you know, the actual scale of my drawing is controlled in those viewports. So this number right here should always be 1:1. From there, you do want to check, make sure that you've got your proper CTB table listed. And then you also want to come in here and preview it. Remember, when you preview, what you see is what you get. If it doesn't look right here, don't send it to the printer because it's not going to be right there either. But if it is correct and you do like what you see, then you can simply choose OK and then close. Now, we haven't actually printed it yet, but when I go to the print icon, and I choose OK or preview again, it looks just like it did in my page setup manager. So now if I say OK, and then if I want to print this, I'll just say OK, let's save it as that right there, and it prints it. And now I get my piece of paper, and again, what I see is what I get. So a very simple way to print, but has those two key differences from printing from ModelSpace. Thanks for watching.